Alright, we've got a 2012 Dodge Durango here with the 3.6 liter V6, and we've got a code for the O2 sensors, and it's the upstream for the left and the right. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the codes here, and I'll show you the sensors we have. Now, on top of getting a check engine light, I just want to say that this can affect your gas mileage or your fuel economy quite a bit with these O2 sensors, and you'll start getting really terrible gas mileage. So it's definitely something that you want to get fixed, and of course it's not going to run as well. All right, so we've got our scan tool hooked up. This port is way down under here. Okay, so we'll get the key on with the engine off. Alright, so I'm just running the scan. I've got several codes. I'm just trying to get these taken care of one thing at a time, and the O2 sensors are the next on my list. Okay, so here's the code, and this PO155 and the PO135 are the ones that I'm concerned with at the moment. And it's see there, it's 2 1s, bank 2, sensor 1, upstream, and then sensor 1 and bank 1 and the upstream there. So those are the codes. Now I'll probably know if this fixes the problem because these come up quick. I've deleted them and these come back like boom, they're right back. So what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and delete the codes that are in here. I've got these saved, I know what I got, so delete them out and we're going to replace them, and hopefully this is going to fix the issue. Alright, so we got everything deleted. Right in here we have both of our upstream O2 sensors, and these are different. See, I got an L there, that's the left. Left hand, if you're sitting in the seat, driver's seat, your left hand, that's going to be the sensor, and then the right is this one right here. So they're really the same. The only thing I can tell you is probably the length of the plug-in there is probably a little bit different from one to the other. We'll take them out and look at them. So here's the left one. I can immediately tell. I see how the length of this wire is just looping and stuff there, and I haven't even taken it out. And this is the right, and it's just got a shorter wire. They look identical other than that. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, very first thing, we've got it up on ramps here. Went ahead and shocked the rear tire. Okay, and this is all I'm using here. It's just a oxygen sensor kit. If you don't have one of these, you can get a loaner tool from AutoZone. We're going to be using this one right here. This just accepts the 1/2 inch, but it's got one for a 3/8. You know, depending on how tight they are, you know, usually I like to use the 1/2 inch, and we've just got a little 3-inch extension, 1/2 inch extension, and just my 1/2 inch ratchet. Alright, we got our cardboard down. We're just going to crawl right in under here, kind of behind the tire. Okay, and we're just over here on the driver's side. We're going to start on this oxygen sensor over here. You know, here's our transmission pan, and we're just coming right over here, looking up. Now you could unplug it first if you like, but we're just reaching up here, and we're going to feed this on and figure out where we need to position a ratchet. So I'm going to come up here. I'll have to adjust it till I can get it in that area there. Alright, so we've got it moving. Now these things will fall off, so be careful. Alright, so we're just going to reach around here and finish twisting that out. Now this replacement already has anti-seize on here. It's just not as messy as I would make it. I haven't unplugged that one just yet, but while it's nice and handy, I'm going to go ahead and just get this one back in here. Having a little bit of trouble getting it started here for some reason. I don't have it exactly straight. Okay, so there, I got it going now. And we're just going to give that a little snug. I'm not going to be torquing this. You can torque if you like. I think these usually call for like 45 foot-pounds or something. But I'm just going to be snugging it up. And this one, just as easy as I loosen it off, I'm just snugging it up here. All right, that's nice and tight right there. And it's just like a spark plug. It has that crush washer, so you're going to be tightening and it's going to be acting like it's not getting tight until you get that crush washer flattened out. Okay, so this one I'm just going to follow this up here, and if you just kind of go, you look at this sensor right here, the back sensor, and if you look like straight up back in there's like a little heat shield around this thing, and that's what I'm going for. And you're just going to squeeze down. Let's see if I can give you any better view. You can see it. You see this little heat shield. It's difficult for me to even see here, but you're going to just give that a squeeze down. It's just tricky to get your hand up in here. Okay, so we got it loose there. See, I'm just squeezing down on that. So now I got to come back up here and reconnect this one. You can see that yellow shining there. Alright, so I'm just squeezing that one on there. I wish I could give you a better view of it, but it is rather difficult to see anything up in here. Okay, so let me try to take you in there. So if you see that right there, it's got like a little heat shield thing around it. That's where I'm. And you can do that one hand. You just reach up there and snap those together. It's not a big deal. Okay, so here we are on the other side here. And you can see we've got, this is the Downstream. Now while it's nice and handy, we're going to reach up here and disconnect this Downstream. Okay, so not a big deal. It's, you know, also it was hooked in that right there. So So we just want that loose. Now before we can get to the back one, we have to remove the downstream. Now these haven't been just terribly tight. Usually it's all you can do to get these sensors loose, but as far as this one goes, they have not been that bad. Alright, so there we have that one. The downstream. And it just plugged in right there. Okay, now we can see the upstream. And again, we're going to have to reach up in here. And we're going to have to get this placed. And there's also a, I believe it's the transmission dipstick bracket there that's like right in the way. So you have to kind of work this around to get it to go on a certain way. Okay, so there, I got it right there. Just got it set on. Now again, we're going to have to go up in here with the little 3-inch extension, and you have to kind of reach your hand to get the, square to line up. Twist it to where it needs. And same thing, we just got room to get this thing loose. There, so I think we can go up and probably finish getting it here. It's loose. Now, like I said, I wouldn't say that it's like easy getting your hands in here, but it's doable. You just have to be patient. I got to get this socket back off here. Now, I don't have this one unplugged, but I'm going to spin it out of here anyways. Now, one thing about it, if the downstream decide to go bad, there ain't nothing to getting to them. Okay, so I switched positions here. I'm over here looking at the oil pan. And I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to look right up in there. You see the one that we just unplugged. Now we got to get up there and get that one. So we're just going to reach up there any way we can and push down on that tab and get that loose. Okay, I'll just have to show you what I'm doing. Here's my hand. I'm coming right under here. And I'm just reaching up. And we'll put it back the same way, except we're going to get it screwed down first. So make sure you can thread that all the way down by hand before you put the socket on there. Cross threading would be a nightmare. Alright, so we got the socket in place. just going to go back up here and snug this down. Now you're going to have to reposition that O2 socket a few times, to say the least. You know, I'm going to have to snug it and then I have to move it back. So it seems worse than it is. It's really not too bad getting in here. Alright, that's pretty tight. Alright, so let's just crawl back around there and hook this up. Okay, we're just going to put our downstream back here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to put some anti-seize on this. Got that little hook right there, little plastic clip. Just putting it back in there. Alright, so we can finally get out from under here. We'll go see what's going to happen, crank it up, see if these codes are going to come back. Okay, well, so far so good. I've run this through several key cycles, cranking it, killing it, and so far the O2 sensor codes have not come back. These other ones are stored, and the oil pressure, unfortunately, that switch must have been bad. I just did this oil cooler, but I'm gonna have to get an OEM and go back in there. It's no big deal, but you know, just trying to take care of these codes one at a time. But so far the O2 sensors, this has fixed that issue, and I'll follow up if it comes back. I've used these Walker O2 sensors before and they seem to do pretty good. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video, replacing both these upstream O2 sensors, and these are the more difficult ones. And hopefully that check engine light is going to stay off. If you like the content on the channel, please consider subscribing. And for each and every one of you that do watch the channel, I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you on the next video.